And number 2 is make sure you are picking a good school. What do I mean by good school now? So there's some schools that their name, once you hear them, like I'm a graduate of, they go, they line you up. Sure, you feel me? So now, like, let's give a typical example now. Let's say you go to University of Toronto. I mean, you go to McGill University, right? These schools now, it's even your classmate that will refer you. Unlike some schools, no shades though. All of you that are going to Memorial University because it's cheap. All of you in the class, you people are 20, 15 of you are international students. Please tell me, who wants to help you?
So, Life with Ade family, if you are watching this video to this point and you have not subscribed, you are very wrong for that. So please, before I continue this video to go and tell you what you want to hear, take time to subscribe, comment, like. Please, Biko, be commenting like this, be commenting, and share this video, share it to somebody, because I know all of you have friends that are about to travel and everything. Share them my video, and let's continue this video.
Enter the water.
I'm allergic to water. Ah, Jesus! Every day, Canada seems to always release their policies that seem to always affect international students. For example, last week they stopped flagpoling. So in some provinces, they are proposing an increase in the tuition fee that's already high. They now want to double it again. So now in this video now, we're going to dissect that is it still possible to study, work, and still get PR in Canada? Because before it used to be like the easier route to go, right? But now it's like, you see people that say this, you see people that say that tomorrow, you see people that say that today. This is Life with Ade, and by the time we are back from this short commercial, we'll be dissecting everything we need to dissect in this video. Stay with me. So guys, welcome back. Before we get into today's video, I want to use this medium to thank you all that have been subscribing. Have you guys seen the subscribers count? I want to appreciate those that have taken their time to like, to comment, to share, and subscribe on top of it. You guys are the best. But right now, let's put that aside and let's get into today's video. So now, again, let me repeat the topic for you guys. Is it still possible to get PR, permanent resident in Canada after studying? So, when I say still, you guys should know that it is possible. It's just that now, what are the things that are now affecting that is like, what's going on here? So now let me break it down to you. There's been so many policies that they've implemented and some things that they're proposing to implement in the coming days. And people are not thinking like, share with all this thing now, why will I even go to Canada? Like, what's the point? But there are things that are actually the source of these policies they're implementing. I don't believe they just wake up and just say, okay, yes, this is what we decide to do. So we all know, everybody in Canada right now knows that we're facing an housing crisis. This is part of it. The labor market is shifting left and right. I don't know where they're shifting to, but that too is part of it. And now they will just want to choose to prioritize people that actually are skilled with what they do when they are given permanent resident. So that is that about the policies that is shaking, that is not seeming like, okay, what's going on here? But before we now continue, before we get into like, is this still possible part, let us establish the normal route, like how it is before. Like, what would you normally do before you get your PR in Canada using the study route part? So ideally you would study, then you will work and gain an experience, and now you will apply for PR. So when you're studying, right, when you are choosing your school to study and everything, ideally the minimum years of program you have to do is at least 1 year. So you have to be able to complete a program for 1 year, minimum for 1 year. You have to do this in a school that is a DLI, designated learning institution, and the course you are taking also has to be a DLI course. So now this, I know it's big English. Let me break it down to you. So there are schools that have registered that they are DLI. So you now carry yourself and go apply to that school. But the course that you now want to go apply for them, is it a DLI course? So you are going to University of Toronto, good school. But when you now want to go and choose the course you want to study, you are not going to go and study fishery. So if you go to like University of Toronto, boom, you have to study something like microbiology, chemical engineering, all those kind of things. But yeah, with due research, you would know what you have to do. So that is the first step. After you've now done that, you will now go and get a job. You gotta get a job based on your field of study, and after you've done that, you've gained your experience, like 12 month experience and everything. Let me establish that again, I am not an immigration consultant. So let me tell you. So then you send your experience and everything to, you send it to immigration. That okay, I've completed my 12 months of experience, something. Now please, I want to apply for PR. There is an issue if you do not do your research and you went to go and do school. You went to a school that is not a DLI, and you think there's one girl, she said she went to a school for 1 year. There's not a DLI. She finished the school, gained her admission, collected her diploma and everything, packed everything, sent everything to the immigration officer, and the immigration officer sent it back to her and said, "Ma, you have been misinformed." So imagine going to a school for 1 year that is not a designated learning institution. You have wasted your money, you have wasted your parents' money, you have wasted everything, and now you have to think of a way back. So that is just the basic step of applying for a PR. So before we move ahead in this video, let me just add a disclaimer there that there is a detailed process of what you have to do on Canada's website, canada.ca. Like I said earlier, you people should go there and figure out which part works for you and follow the process. But me, because I'm very generous and Ade is a very nice girl, I'll still tell you what I think you should do. So now let's get into it, right? So you are finished studying now. The ideal thing you will now do next now is to apply for a postgraduate work permit. Relax, I'll break it down. So a postgraduate work permit is, first of all, one thing you have to keep in mind is that you only get it once in your entire life. So anything you want to do before applying, you better get it right. So first of all, a postgraduate work permit, you will get a postgraduate work permit after your study. So if you do a 1 year program, you will get a 1 year work permit. If you do a 2 years program, anything above 1 year, you will get a 3 years postgraduate work permit. Even if you go for bachelor's for 4 years, it's still 3 years they will give you. In fact, if you like do PhD for 6 years, it's still 3 years they will give you as a postgraduate work permit. But the idea is that 3 year span is the maximum you can get for your work permit. But the beauty is that between these 3 years, if you know what you are doing, you will get your PR by in that span of 3 years. The tricky one is going to apply for a 1 year work permit, 1 year program, and then getting a 1 year work permit after. That one, shaky. But this 3 years one, you have a lot of time to experience and then apply for a permit. So now let's get right into the PR process period, right? So after you've now got your work permit, ideally the next thing you do is you gather your experience for 1 year in your field of study. So you've done that. So the process of applying for PR is called an express entry process, which is a point-based process of PR application. So let me explain that to you. As precious is like this, in Canada's eyes, they don't see precious like this. They see precious as points. I'm joking. So it's like for everything that you are, it's worth a certain point. Even your shoes worth something. I'm joking. But like the idea is that when it's now time to present yourself to Canada, like, okay, I've done everything you asked me to do, I've gained my experience, I now want to apply for permanent resident. They now say, okay, how old are you? You tell them, I'm 20 years old. Okay, you have so point for that. What did you study? I studied mechanical. Okay, good, you have so point for that. What is your did you do bachelor's or did you do graduate? You tell them. So basically everything, your language, the language you speak, because you have to write a language proficiency test. What is your score? Did you pass? Are you bilingual? All those kind of things, there's a point you get for that. So as precious is now, all of these things that they've now worth me. Let's now say in total I have 400 points. That is what I'm worth. So now I'm now waiting for Canada to invite me for PR. And it is possible for you to go to a great school. It is possible for you to do a great course. It is even possible for you to have 12 months and more experience in a very recognized field of study of yours. But it's still possible that after all of this thing, when you don't gather, they still don't give you PR. Yes, let me tell you why. These are the things you should have in mind when you're applying for PR in Canada through the study route. So here are 3 things you should keep in mind when you're applying for PR in Canada. First of all, you should understand that your study process in this Canada is very, very transactional. What do I mean by transactional? So the money you pay, the everything you pay, you are paying them that you want their certificate, their Canadian degree, so you can go back and do whatever you are doing from or where you are coming from. Like, that's the idea behind it. Even in your student mode of purpose, you wrote it that I'm coming here to acquire knowledge to help my business back in my country, or help something back in my country. So let us keep in mind that anything you do after studying in Canada is a privilege. You're studying in Canada here. Anything you do after studying in Canada is a privilege and not a right. Number 2 is that you should have a contingency plan. You see many people now, they just you put all your egg in one basket. No, you should always think about, what if plan A did not work? What am I going to do for plan B? So a good example is that you have been in the pool now for 6 times. They did not call you. What do you want to do next? Well, because, like, are you going to go and update yourself? Are you going to go and redo this? Are you going to go and redo your exam? Are you going to go and There's a lot of things that you can do to boost up yourself. Or there's even many situations. This one is very popular. That people will come, they didn't do the due research, and notice that the school they went to is not a DLI, or the course they did is not a DLI course. In this situation, now, what do you want to do? Are you going to leave the country? Are you going to try to go to school again? Because I've seen people that did that and then they have to go to school again just to, get that. All those kind of things, right? So there's a lot of things that you need to keep in mind that, if plan A no work, at this point, you go marry Oyinbo, what thing you go do for plan B? So the third point is that always keep in mind that your PR is not guaranteed. This goes back to the 2 points that I said. It's not a right, it's a privilege. I've even seen people that are like, oh, I've spent so many things in this country, I've invested a lot in this country. They go to the news station, oh, I didn't get my PR and everything. They don't hold you shit. I'm sorry, they don't hold you PR. Because what you said you wanted to do is study. And in a normal life, you study and you get out. I have friends that they come from America and everything. Once they are done, they go back. It's like, oh, University of Toronto is very nice, it's very okay. I just want to, have that degree. And they're going back to where they're coming from. That is the idea of coming into the country as an international student. So when people are not like, oh, I've spent money, I've done this, I'm so sorry. Have contingency plan. So now let's go back to the topic of this thing. The first question, that is it still possible to study in Canada and get your PR? My answer is yes. You just need to do your due research, and many people that they are inviting for PR, and some people and they say is based on like the shift in the labor market. Is what Canada needs now that they are inviting. All of you, maybe people like, maybe you are short of, this is an example, you are short of doctors and everything. It's people that went to medical school, all those kind of things. So that is the process behind it. So now I'm going to give you strategies that I think will be helpful for you. So if you're planning to come to Canada, or you just finish your study and you want to apply, what can help you and be part of the first pool they send you right for? So stay with me. So first of all, you need to stay up to date. Ain't no way you are already in this stage of PR in this country that you don't know that you have to be following Instagram. You have to be following them on Instagram. You have to be following them on Twitter. Canada is a very social media friendly kind of country. So anything they are saying like this, immediately you are seeing it on Twitter as well. You just need to be following the right panel. And this also brings us to immigration consultant. There's a lot of them. We have Info Canada. We have Tunde Tash. This one is our brother. So at least you should be able to trust him. Follow them. Look at their this thing. They are always up to date on the newest policies and immigration that you're looking. Even the main minister, even the Macmillan himself. If you are at this point you don't know who the immigration minister is, then you are wrong. So even him, follow him, is a source of this. Stay up to date. Don't follow pressures, because sometimes I might miss it, but still, I'm joking. Just follow the right account, follow the right people, be up to date. Even your friends, your circle, let them know that let it be people that are learned. And that way you are up to date. You know when there is a change in this or a change in that. And number 2 is make sure you are picking a good school. What do I mean by a good school now? So there's some schools that their name, most you hear them like, I'm a graduate of. They go, they line you up. Sure, you feel me? So now, like, let's give a typical example now. Let's say you go to University of Toronto. I bet you go to McGill University, right? These schools now, it's even your classmate that will refer you. Unlike some schools, no shades though. All of you that are going to Memorial University because it's cheap. All of you in the class, you people are 20, 15 of you are international students. Please tell me, who wants to help you? But if you go to a school like, McGill, University of this, it's expensive, yes, we get it. But these schools themselves, their reputation, their class in society, the people you even meet in this school self, you see my hand? The connections you make in this school, they even help you to, help you to get into the job field faster. For example, in my school now, Concordia School, if you do a master's in so, this is the one that I know because this is my line. If you do a master's, for example, in MPPA now, the school itself has placement in top organizations where they can drop you to go and do your internship. It is the school that you're putting it there. This is the responsibility of the school. So you're telling me, compare this now to other schools that just like come and go and this thing. No, now. You know, I always have example. A good example now is going to be Kunkeye. So Keye used to work in City News, right? But it was the fact that he had done an internship from school in City News. So when he finished his school, he was just able to cross. It wasn't a smooth sail, but still, you see where he is now. So that is the things that you should keep in mind when you're picking the school. What are my opportunities? What does the school even have to offer me? I have paid you people now. Now, what are you going to give me back aside my diploma and my everything? Number three, opt in for a 2 years program. Like I said before, if you study for 1 year, you get a 1 year program and that's it. That's it. Anything that you're doing after that, you go back to your country and go and finish it. But if you study for more than 1 year, so bachelor's, a master's degree, you get a 3 years work permit. So again, I have a very good example for this. Kunkeye came into this country with a 1 year program and he finished it. But towards the tail end of this program, my man, the Sifa, he was like, hey, the way this thing is going, he decided to do another program, which means he had to go to school again for another year. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, there's a lot of things that goes to it. There's a lot of energy. Many of you have checked out of education, but because you want a better life for yourself, right? So it's a lot, it's tough, but this is the best route for you. So from the beginning, just prepare yourself like, I am going there to do a 2 years program, or I'm going there to do a 4 years bachelor's. But anything 1 year, take it, cancel it out of your list because it's not going to help you at the end of the day. It's going to make your process, your PR process, nerve-wracking, and it's like, you're trying to do this, you're trying to let them call you. What if they don't call you? And once the 1 year is out, remember, it's only once you can get it. Once that 1 year is over and you did not get what you have to do in that 1 year, Ileya, let me say it in English, you go home, sweet home. So my first point now is the type of program you choose to study. So we need to know that many things that Canada do now is as the demand of their labor markets. They are doing it because this is what they want now. If it's not you they need, why would they waste time to invite you for PR, right? So now let's keep in mind that any program you are doing should be in line with what you would think the country needs. But however, let me give you a very typical example of this. During that, shortly after COVID, during 2021, we see everybody going into tech. We have tech boys, we have cybersecurity. If you are not a coder, you are wrong. So now let us see what is happening to that market now. There's an influx of tech bros, which now makes the markets filled with higher competition. Same thing to the healthcare system. Everybody is doing PSW. Everybody is an healthcare worker. What happens now? Many of people, they just have the certificates and they can't even get a job from it. And finally, anybody where you see now, just go and ask them. Masters in MBA, masters in business administration. It's a very lovely course. It's a good course to do. But what happens in the next 3 to 4 years when everybody is doing masters in business administration? What do you think is going to happen to the market or the demand for business administration people? Right? So this is what we have to think and keep in mind. So this is going to lead me to my 5th point. You should choose a career that you actually want. Don't choose a career because you want to use it for PR. Because, okay, this is what Canada wants now. And then now it's going to give me PR. Let's choose a career because this is actually what we want to do. This is what we're passionate about. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? Who knows what's going to happen when there's a change in government and everything? Who knows, maybe you actually have to leave the country and, go and explore another maybe European country or somewhere else where you actually need the certificate that you use. But if you have not put all your egg in one basket and say this PR, now this course I want you to get them, you might fail. For example, now we see like some people now, they did journalism, but they are content with what they are doing. They have fun shooting their girlfriend's YouTube video. If they don't get PR with the course, they are happy regardless because
you are playing. You are playing.
I'm joking because gotta get your PR. But yeah, the gist of it is that do something that you love. That even on the side, like if there's no condition attached to it, you still want to wake up and like, I am going to this job. I'm going there to be the digital communication person for the day. It gives you joy. So let's keep all that in mind. Do you remember all those times when you used to go and play in the rain with only pints? These children are having fun. Honestly, it's so hot. I even want to enter this place. But yeah, in conclusion, guys, I hope with this viewpoint of mine, I've been able to convince you and educate you a little bit on your PR process after studying in Canada. Like we have said from the beginning of this video, it is very important for you to check out the Canadian website, canada.ca, to see what route works best for you and the things that you have to do in detail. This video is just me going through the normal process, but you would still need detailed information, and it's best for you to get the information from the source yourself. I hope you had fun watching this video. And I mean, by now our subscriber counts. I really hope you watch, you subscribe. Yeah, that's it. Till I come here next time, it's your girl Ade, and this is Life with Ade. Ma, go play inside the water. And you see, you will record.